Hello everyone, my name is Stacey K. Roach, and I'm here with you guys for the next episode of the Rebrand and Rebuilding Community. I'm here with you guys today just to speak about the rebrand and rebuilding system. The system is what helped me go from being homeless and penniless to living in my purpose. This system is what I created basically the rebrand and rebuilding community from. I'm going to go over each step that I went through. There are multiple steps, but there are three main things that you're going to have to do before you can even start implementing the steps into your life. The first things first is what I had to do. Like I said, I went through this. This is something that took me from being homeless and penniless to on my game, getting me out of that situation and into a stable home and having a stable career, bringing money into the home where I can take care of myself, and I'm still building that where I can take care of my family. So the first step for me was taking a closer look at the past situation that left me in need or in help, like that left me in that situation. I was homeless. What left me being homeless? And it was basically the separation. I was married. I was going through a separation. My ex-husband and I, we got into a huge argument. I was put out of the home that we lived in. It was not in my name, it was in his name. So I had to leave. We both decided together that he would keep the children until I can get on my feet, because when I left that situation, I had nothing. I was working a part-time job, and in the state in South Carolina, the part of South Carolina that I lived in, you have to make 3 times the rent to even rent a nice, something decent in that area. So I couldn't afford anything. All I had was the Dodge Grand Caravan that was in my name that I had paid off. That's all I had, and a few bucks, maybe $20, $30. Like what in that time during the pandemic, that wasn't going to get you anything. So the first thing I had to do, like I said, was what left me in that situation, and that was being separated. No, my ex-husband was not all to blame for us being, now divorced. I played a part in that too. So I had to hold myself accountable and own up to my responsibility, my part in the role. And I did that. So once I basically stopped pointing the blame and accepted my part and my responsibility in the whole situation, that's when a lot of things start turning around for me. And it'll also do that for you. Yes, maybe someone did leave you in the situation that you were in, but at the same time, I know you seen red flags. I did, and I ignored them. And I know, like, a person will show you who they are, and it's up to you to believe them. And I think who it was, Maya Angelou, that stated it best. If a person show you who they are, believe them the first time. They're showing you what they're capable of right then and there, and you don't want to see it because you see the good in everybody, and that's great. And that was me. But like I said, I had to own up and take responsibility for me. The second thing that I really had to figure out was which direction did I want to be in. I got pregnant at 15, had my first child at 16. I was a child carrying a child. I didn't know what the heck I was going to do with a baby. I dropped out of school. I barely had an education. I did go back and get my GED. I did go back and take college courses. But before all of that, at 15 years old, pregnant with a child, I didn't know what the heck I was going to do. I had my second child at 18, so I was really like, with 2 children and being a kid myself, at that time, it was hard for me to figure out which direction I wanted to go into, because I didn't know who I was. I was a mother before I was an adult. And that was my fault. I was out there being grown and doing what I was doing to get, getting pregnant. So once again, I had to own up to the part that I played, and, me being in a situation that led me there. And even going back from, like I said, getting pregnant at 15, dropping out of school at 16, like those were all the choices that I made. I made a lot of poor choices growing up. And I know I'm not the only one. I'm not ashamed of anything, and I don't regret anything or my children. But at the same time, it was hard for me to be an adult when I had so many things that I had unresolved as a child, because I had to grow up so quick. I didn't have time to think about myself. I had 2 kids to think about by the age of 18. So yes, it was hard. So I had to go back and resolve those issues in order for me to get to the point where I knew what I wanted in life. I had to go back and think. Especially, like I said, all I ever known was the goals and dreams that the 11, 12 to 15-year-old girl before I became a mother at 16. That's all I really knew about myself. Like, my life stopped when I had my first child. So I did not know what the adult Stacy wanted. I didn't know what the adult Stacy needed. So I had to figure out why I had that time to be to myself, being homeless, sleeping in my car. I needed that because that taught me who I was. I learned about myself. I spent time with myself. I never had time to just say, hey, wake up in the morning and the only person you have to worry about is you. Like I said, 15, getting pregnant, had my first child at 16, started going at 18. I had to take care of my kids. I got to figure out how I'm going to feed them, how I'm going to keep a roof over their head. So at then that time of me being homeless and in my car, I had a lot of time to get to know me. So I basically, like I said, I had to figure out which direction I wanted my life to go into. But before I could do that, I had to go back and I had to think about what the 15-year-old and under Stacy wanted and in life, where I seen my life going before I became a parent. So I basically picked my life back up and had to deal with the unresolved issues that I had from me being a teen mother, me being a kid. I did that first and foremost, and that right there helped me realize, again, what I wanted out of life, and that was to help people, mentor people, coach. I always wanted to be a motivational speaker or some type of public figure where I spoke to the world using my voice to, get others justice and, stand up for people, because sometimes it's not we can take care of ourselves, and I'm really great at taking care of me, but there's a lot of people out there that can't and don't know how to stand up for themselves, and I want to be a voice for those people that cannot do that and feel like they need to, look to me to get their message across, and that's what I'm here for. The third step in that, after you figure out which direction you want your life to head in so you can rebrand and rebuild yourself, the third step was to finally find a way to create a space and work on doing what you say you're going to do. Anybody can say it, but you most definitely have to be able to do action what you say you're going to do. You have to know when to action what you say you're going to do, be able to do. So you have to first put yourself in a position to live your life on your terms. You first have to be able to live your life on your terms. So, like I said, we all have jobs, we all have children, or we're married, we have families, we have people that depend on us and rely on us, and we can't just say, hey, I want to go back and live these childhood dreams, or I want to take the time to dream and, to do my own thing, because we have responsibilities. So you have to figure out a way to create a space in your life that can, you can work, even if it's 10 minutes a day where you're sitting down writing and planning and figuring out what you want. What do you want? Not what your wife needs, or your husband needs, or your children, or your mother, or your father, your job. You need to figure out what you want and what you need. Even, like I said, taking 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whenever you can get a chance throughout your day, you need to figure out and sit down and play out how you're going to get this done. And that's what I'm here for. If you don't know how you're going to get that done, you can always reach out to me. I'll leave all my links and all my information down below. Finally, after you create the space and work out your schedule, after you decided which direction you want to head in, after you first take a closer look, I'm just going back, in reverse of the things that I just said, the different steps. After you do all of that, you will finally start implementing those phases. And I kind of implemented these phases in between, each step. So it's the three most important steps, but you have to implement certain things. Like I said, overcoming, negative perspective you have on life. I had a bad negative perspective. I got pregnant at 15. I was a single mother literally at 15 years old. got pregnant at 15, had my first child at 16. I was a single mother. I was by myself. So, of course, that left me with some bad blood. That left me feeling a certain type of way about people, about the situation, just about life in general. And I know I'm not the only one out there. I know you can relate. The second thing you have to do is discover your passion. Me, in my process, it was rediscovering, because like I said, I had goals and dreams as, the child version of me, the younger version of Stacy. I had goals and things that I wanted to do in life. So I basically rediscovered my passions and things that I wanted to start walking in my purpose. So after you do that, like I said, you have to build your life around your passion. You have to figure out a way to make time for yourself, for your passions, for your goals, for your dreams. You have to sit down and plan. You have to think of it. You have to think of it in a way. It's not something that maybe it's going to happen in a day or two. This is the long game. It's for long term. So you have to sit down and plan and figure out how you're going to implement your life with your passions. Like I said, most of us are married, have families, have jobs. We have people that rely on us and depend on us, so we can't just up and quit the job and leave the family. And like I said, I had time that came in my life where I had no choice. I had nothing but time on my hands. I had to figure out what I was going to do with myself now that I was separated and going through a divorce. So not a lot of us have that time, but you have to make the time for it. If you truly, truly want it, you have to make the time for it. If you don't know how to go about doing it, like I said before, I will leave the links below for you to click on. I'll leave all my details down below for you to reach out to me in some way, shape, or form so I can help you. That's what I do. I'm a life coach. That's what I do. And teaching this system and helping you guys implement these phases and put them into your day-to-day lives, and helping you discover or rediscover what you want. That's what I'm here for. Don't be afraid to reach out. Like I said, I'm always looking for people to come on the show, on the podcast, to tell their stories. And maybe you didn't use this system, and maybe you didn't have a mentor, or you didn't do research, or you didn't do any of those things that I did to help me to come up with this system. Things that I took and I used in my life. And at that time, I didn't even know it was going to be a system, but maybe you had someone that helped you. Maybe you did other things than what I've done, and other life coaches or other people that were homeless and or going through a divorce or a tragedy or a disaster. Maybe it's something out there, a solution that you can come on here and speak about that I haven't touched bases on, that and come tell your story. No one can tell your story like you. You can give me your story. I have people that say, hey, I'm kind of shy, I don't really want to come on the podcast, and I don't want to tell my name. Don't be ashamed of what you've been through. I'm not ashamed, and I'm not going to be ashamed. I'm not going to let no one hold my past against me. It happened. I don't regret anything that I've done. And if anyone have a problem with the things that I've done in my past, especially if I try to make amends with it, I've apologized, I'm bettering myself, and my actions have changed from the past, I don't care, and neither should you. So I can tell your story, but nobody can tell your story like you. Nobody knows you better than you. And if anyone try to tell you who you are and what you're supposed to be doing and how you're supposed to be doing it, then what? Can't nobody tell you but you and the Lord. You are here to experience and go through life, to experience life as it is, good or bad. You are here to experience that. Nobody can take that experience away from you. Nobody can live in your shoes. They can't live, your life. They can't walk the walk that you walk. It's crazy that you can have a best friend and literally with you every day of your life. They can walk with you every freaking day through ups and downs, but y'all two will both be living two totally different experiences. They can be with you. Y'all can go through the same circumstances, but y'all will be living it in two different damn ways, because y'all are two different people, and you are bound to have two different life experiences, no matter what the situation is. Like I said, my situation led me to create the rebrand and rebuilding system, and also the rebrand and rebuilding community. But your situation may have led you down another path. Just because we've been through the same and similar situations don't mean that we had the same walk or the same experience going through those same and the similar things. So it'll be great for you to come on here and tell your story. Thank you guys for tuning in all the way with me. I know I kind of go on and on and on, and I only touch bases a little bit on the steps because I really wanted to get the three most important things across. And that was, first, taking a closer look at the past situation that left you in the situation that you're in now. And figuring out, the next one was figuring out which direction you wanted your life to head in moving forward. The third one was find ways to create space in your schedule, your time. You're supposed to find a way, make a way to do what you set out to do. You know, and that's what I'm here for. So thank you guys. Thank you.